One.
Can't get you out of my head. And I die. I wanna live on the outskirts of heaven. Sipping on a little something. I need your loving. Just keep them kisses coming.
Here's Craig Campbell.
Well, let this play for a second here. It's like the new song. Listen up.
It ain't no surprise I ain't heard from you. Did you make it to California or get high in Crested Butte? You were always headed for somewhere new. I know you're out there doing what you do. Never mind, we couldn't leave each other alone. Couldn't take our hands off each other. Never mind that we were right where we belong. Every day of that sugar sand summer, you were always gonna say goodbye. A gypsy born to fly. Never mind that I was all yours. You were never mine.
Wow. There it is. That, by the way, is just a little clip of the new song from that guy right there. And I'm going to blow my intro here. I had it all written out on a teleprompter here. But after hearing that, I'm just like, wow, blown away. It's so good. Craig Campbell, let me just say, he is a proven country music hitmaker, well-respected songwriter, musician, as well as a singer, as you know. Shares real life stories we all can connect with. And it's the kind of songs you just love listening to. And his latest single is Never Mind. It's M-I-N-E. Never Mind. It's out right now. You can hear it on The Wolf. And he's right there, ladies and gentlemen. Craig Campbell. Craig, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Welcome.
How'd you like that little intro, huh?
That was a good one. Out of all the intros, that was one of them, and it was good.
I just, Outskirts of Heaven and songs like that, just every time I hear those songs, it puts me into a certain place in my life, because it just, over the past few years when those songs were hitting the radio and I was able to play some of those songs, it was just wow. Just wow. Just
wow. Glad you were there to play them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right off the top though, you're out with the new single, and dude, from being a radio programmer and doing what I'm doing, that's not to sound cheesy, but that's got hit written all over it. And
your mouth's to God's ears. I knew when we wrote it that as when we got done with it, and then I heard the first recording we had of it, I knew that it was something I loved, and I played it for my wife, and my wife loved it, and she's your typical country music fan. So when she loves it, it means that it is a hit, and I'm proud of it, and I'm excited to see what it does.
I love this story, and maybe some people have already heard this, but maybe not. But you were the keyboard player for Luke Bryan when he was out, making his way up the charts and doing what he had to do to get where he is today. We just had him in town last Thursday again in a driving rainstorm, but wow, he kicked ass. And 13,000 people were just loving every minute of it. But so tell us the whole Luke Bryan story. I'll let you tell that and how it got you to where you are today.
Well, we had a mutual friend, and that guy, he was like, hey, there's a guy, he's about to sign a record deal. He's a Georgia boy. He's doing some shows down in South Georgia at some colleges and whatnot, and needs a piano player. And he said, I'm going to introduce you guys if that's all right. And I said, cool. He says, you'll love him. He's a great dude. And so, that's kind of how we met. This was before he had his record deal. And then I went out and played some shows with him that year. And he, one day we were just doing sound check, and I was just messing around on the piano and singing a little bit. And he comes over to me and he's like, oh my God. He says, you're the guy. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I was at the stage on Lower Broadway a while back, and I heard this guy singing, and I was like, dang, he's good, and he said, I never got his name, didn't get anything. And he said, but now I know that was you. And a little bit passed, and I guess he fast forward to when he fired me. He said he said, man, you don't need to be playing piano for anybody. He said, you need to be doing your own thing. And I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna introduce you to some people and try to get you into some circles in Nashville, because Nashville is very very tight, very network. Like it's a small community, and has success has a lot to do with who you know, and finding somebody that's a champion of you and that can make some decisions and whatnot. So he did that. He introduced me to a lot of people, and that's where it all started for me.
Wow. So you got fired, but it was for a good reason, because he knew that you had the talent to go on to bigger and better things instead of just always playing in the band. He wanted you to be the front man, so to speak.
Yeah. So that was a good. If I'm going to be fired, that's how I want to be fired.
Well, I've been fired before, but it never ended up like that. So, but it's so cool. How long, Craig? Now you're in your 40s, but how long have you been? Let's go back to the beginning. How did you get started and all that? Being a musician.
Oh man, I mean, I started playing piano when I was very young. Played piano at my church for years, and always knew music was something that I wanted to do. I didn't know what level. I just knew I knew early on that I wanted to be able to play music and pay my bills with music. And I graduated high school and had a real job for a while, and then decided to move to Nashville, and I moved. That was almost 20 years ago, and even when I moved to Nashville, it wasn't about the radio. It wasn't about getting record deals. It was just more or less I wanted to be in Nashville, surrounded by other people like me, and still just pay my bills with music. And so I started doing that, playing on Lower Broadway, writing songs, playing piano for other people, making a really good living. And then then is when it all kind of started. Like, you know what, I think I want to put some songs out too. I want to be on the radio, so I was very fortunate to meet some people that believed in me and was able to do that for me. And that was 10 or so years ago. And yeah, here we are.
Man, just keep those kisses coming and all that. It's just music that just blows you away, dude. And it's awesome. If I need a good feel-good song while I'm on the air, I'll throw on one of your tunes. And I'm not just saying that because I'm looking at you right now. I'm saying it because that's what I do. And I've always believed in you, and I know a lot of people do. How hard, though, is it to be somebody in your shoes, to be able to put out the music, to try to pay your bills with the music that you're doing? I mean, how hard is it to be somebody like you?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's that hard. I mean, there's so many avenues of making a living with music. I think, having songs on the radio is probably a tough part, just because there's a lot of people out there that have control over playlists and who gets played and who doesn't get played. And, and if you're not in the right clique or the right circle, or if your record label isn't behind you 100%, you will not be successful. That's just a fact. No matter how good you are, no matter how great of a singer or songwriter or musician, entertainer, it just doesn't even matter. If your record label, they don't do that push, it's just not going to happen. So that's tough. That's tough to know that you have a product that's as good as anything out there, and you can't get noticed, or you can't even get arrested. In Music City. So it's frustrating.
It's got to be frustrating.
Did you ever have a point during your climb that you thought that something wasn't going to work out for you? There's always those ups and downs.
I think the final straw for me was when the record label told me that Outskirts of Heaven was a career song. And it was going to be the song. It was going to put me on a new level. It was going to do big things. And then, when that song peaked at 24 on the chart, that put me in a weird spot for a short period of time. And that's kind of when I realized, I don't need to be with these guys anymore. And I think they felt the same way about me. So.
Right. Well, that's one of those songs that stands out. I mean, I'm sure no matter where you play, if you still play it out, and the reaction that you get from your fans, the audience, they know every word. They sing along to it. It's one of the greatest songs ever. And it only, it's got to be so frustrating, even from us as radio people. We go, that is such an awesome song. Why didn't it do any better than you said number 24?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Who knows? We had. Once again, I felt like the record label didn't. They made the choice not to put any muscle behind it, because I feel like that song, it ran into some roadblocks. A lot of radio stations said it was too long. It was 4 minutes long. Radio stations would say it was too slow. Some radio stations said it was too religious. So I mean, we ran into those roadblocks that I think were overcomable, if that's even a word.
It does. Yeah.
But that's a country song in my heart. All those factors put together make it a true country song.
Well, like I said, that's when the record label did not put their foot on the gas like they should have. I think.
Do you happen to check Spotify numbers? And this is just Spotify, not even looking at all the other platforms, on how many hits that song has received?
Yeah. We still get a ton of streams on that song.
My gosh, it's over 33 million. This number's so big I can't even read it. 33, 955, 957. That is I think that's the biggest number to date, Skip, that we've seen on a stream.
And that just proves my point that song's a hit song, and it only went to 24 on the chart, but it still streams anywhere from 13 to 15,000 times a day on Spotify. It's crazy.
So that proves it right there.
I'm reading one of the comments. Dave Stiles posted "Outskirts" is an amazing song that hits everyone in the fields. Whatever, I'm not sure what he meant by that, but I'm sure do you know Dave? Yeah, and there it is, right there.
All this area.
Yes, yeah, and it does. And nowadays, it doesn't really matter if it's 4 minutes. If it's a good song, it's a good song, and it's going to get played. But I think back when that did come out, knowing it, because I've been doing this a while, and I hear where you're coming from, Craig. A lot of the labels are like, all right, we're going to come off that. People are saying it's, it's too slow, it's too long, too religious. But that's a bunch of bullshit. So I'm just saying. It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk about your creative process a little bit. You've been doing a lot of writing. You've been writing with some of the big songwriters. Tell us about that process.
Man, I love writing songs. That's another thing Luke was a big proponent of when I was one of the biggest pieces of advice from him was he's like, you need to be writing songs. And so he made the comment that nobody could tell your story better than you, and it just clicked with me. So I got back to Nashville and hit the ground running and started writing songs. But the process for me is just I come up with ideas, and I come up with storylines, and then I have people that I can call that I feel like, for instance, Outskirts of Heaven. I knew that I wanted to save that title and that whole idea for my buddy Dave Turnbull, because I knew that was his wheelhouse. That was the thing. He could help me bring that one to life. So I have certain people that I write certain songs with because I know that's what they're strong at. It's for me, it's ideas and storylines and just having a box full of jigsaw puzzle pieces is what it is in my head. And then I'm call certain people to help me put that puzzle together.
How did it, this whole pandemic thing? I know you probably get asked the question all the time. How did the pandemic work for you? I mean, nobody could do anything, at least here in the Northeast. We were all on complete lockdown and all that. So, but how did it work for you as a songwriter, performer, artist? Obviously, you couldn't go out and do the gigs.
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic was unfortunate, but it showed us a lot of things that we didn't know were even issues. I realized that I don't have to travel as much as I had been. I realized being with my family was super, super important.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I didn't have to drive 45 minutes downtown just for a 30-minute meeting.
Right, right.
Uh, and so, yeah, those were big eye openers for me.
Mhm.
So I mean, we took it and ran with it. So learned a lot. But I mean, I am glad that some of the live shows are coming back, so we can get out and play.
Yeah.
too.
Are you hitting the road?
Yeah, yeah, we got been busy here the last couple of months, and the months ahead of me are pretty busy, and stuff is steady coming in. So excited about that.
And
Do you-
how? Oh, go ahead, Deb.
I was just wondering, do you think you found a new balance in life with how much you were on the road before and how much you may be going on the road going forward?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's not a show out there ever that I have to take.
Yeah.
Not one.
You're more
That's
in
good
control. Yeah.
So there is a little bit of good that came out of the pandemic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And and you're able to regroup, and now you see these things in life that maybe you took so much for granted before, but family is the priority. It's so very important.
No
And
doubt.
I'm sure being an artist, being on the road like you, they had to just put a lot of pressure on a relationship, or not being home maybe for a birthday, or stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, we missed a lot. We missed a
Yeah.
lot, and that's not going to happen anymore.
So who you hitting the road with?
Man, it's all over the place. I take shows as they come. I'm not on tour with anybody. We
Okay.
are trying to put together something for the fall with me and another act. It's a little too early to even talk about, but we're in the process of really just putting all the playing together now. Like this Saturday coming up, I'm with Tracy Bird.
Nice.
A lot of people don't know this, but I used to play piano for Tracy as well. So it's a lot of fun to share the stage with Tracy, knowing that I used to be in his band too, and now get to open the show for him.
Yeah. Not that Tracy Bird, "Keeper of the Stars" was my wedding song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
I remember singing "Keeper of the Stars" at a wedding as a kid, and I got paid. She wrote me a check for $125, and it was just that one song, and it was a karaoke little thing, and I was. So you're telling me I can sing and make money, right? So I remember that.
You're doing very well at it. So let's talk about Nevermind. Everything, the brand new single, it's out. You can hear it on the Wolf here in Syracuse, getting great response. We heard a little clip of it just a few moments ago. Tell us about that song and how it all came about.
Oh, well, Nevermind. We talked about earlier about the pandemic. It was born during the pandemic. I was still writing songs, but a lot of people didn't want to get together and write, so we did a lot of Zoom writes.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. I hated every minute of it, man. It was, just not. You couldn't get into the flow. The vibe was wrong. I vibe off of other people in the room, and they get up and you can see their excitement. They're pacing the floor and they're yelling, and so. But when you're on a Zoom call, it's just you can't feel that. So I did not enjoy it. However, I wrote probably 4 or 5 songs during the pandemic, and they were all great to me. Nevermind was one of them. I was here at my house in Eagleville. One of my co-writers was in New Orleans, and another co-writer was downtown Nashville. So it's kind of cool that we could actually do that.
Yeah, but
I had that title for a long time. Nevermind, you were Nevermind, and I never could make it make sense. And then finally one day I woke up and I had an idea of how to make it make sense. And I told my co-writers, I said, "Hey, never mind we did all this. It was awesome. I thought there was more to it than that. But no, you were Nevermind." And they loved it, and I'm glad they did. And I feel like we wrote a good song.
I know you wrote a good song. When I first heard it, I just said, "Yeah, I'm on it." Seriously, that's how good it is. So you're doing everything independently now.
Yeah, 100% independent.
And you're much happier.
Absolutely. The only My wife's in there. You know, me and her. As long as we're happy, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
We don't have to ask anybody for permission to do anything. We can do it the way we want to do it.
Well, you might have to ask her.
No, I'm saying we. I said we.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. No. But isn't it great though to have somebody there, whether I'm in the radio doing the radio thing and I throw things off my wife a lot. I mean, it's good to, like you say, she's a true country fan listener. So it's good to get that opinion. She would probably tell you, Craig, that sucks. Or she would say, I absolutely love it.
No, she has said that about some of my songs that I've released. And typically she was right, you know. But she's a great singer herself. That's kind of how we met. She hired me to play piano for her years ago.
Oh wow!
And we got together for rehearsal, and we've been together ever since. So she loves music and she knows music, but she's also just a really good country music fan. She's perfect to bounce things off of.
What part of Nashville are you in?
We live in Eagleville,
okay.
Which is just like directly south of Nashville.
Yeah, about an hour, you said.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Deb, you were going to say something?
I was just wondering if you and your wife like work together as the business side of the deal as well. I mean, I know it's as writers and as performers, it's natural to bounce those ideas and songs off each other, but to work together as a business is a whole nother gamut.
Yeah, I mean, I would be honest with you guys. The first 8-9 years, she was less involved than she is now, which didn't work. So she is very involved now, and I love it. You know, she has questions.
It's awesome.
She has less questions because she's involved, you know,
right
from the start. So, it works way better.
Oh, that's great. It's great when you can work together like that. Plus, you trust each other 100% with whatever's going on in the business. So if someone had to make a decision about something, you know that decision was in your best interest.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
do you have a favorite song that you like to perform when you're on stage? Is there something at the top of your list?
You know, there are songs on my set list that I get excited about when they come around. I mean, you know, kicking the show off with a song called All My Friends Drink Beer is pretty fun. Out of my head, Family Man. When I get to Family Man, I love that one.
I have to say, I should have put that into the little clip I played in the beginning. And that is another one of my favorites. So
yeah, and then, you know, Outskirts, just they all have different reactions from the audience. So I love each song for what it does at that moment in the show. Keeping Kisses Coming and Fish, you know, I got them. I do them all at once. So there's one. It's just like basically just one big long song, and that's a highlight of my show. I feel like for myself, and I think the fans love it too. So
I think I already know the answer. But do you ever get tired of certain songs that out of your own?
Not yet. Not yet. I had a couple, and I'm very fortunate to be able to have those songs that if I do get tired of it, I won't sing it. I just take it out of the show.
Right.
But for the songs that I put in my show, I love singing them, and that's why they're there.
Do you have
No, go ahead.
Do you have a favorite cover song or a couple of favorite cover songs that you throw into your sets, or not usually?
Yeah. I get to, you know, I do a medley of songs that just to kind of giving out people an idea of what I grew up listening to. And part of that medley is a song called Anymore by Travis Tritt that
love that song.
Probably my favorite song ever, and so it's a lot of fun to sing that. Yes. It's just me and my guitar.
Great song.
How many instruments do you play, Craig?
Just those two.
Just the two.
The piano and my guitar, yeah.
Cool. Do you have a name for your guitar?
No.
Guitar.
No, it doesn't have a name. It's just my
it's
guitar.
Amazing. It's amazing how many artists we talk to, and they've got names for their guitars, and it's like, you know, so that's why I asked the question. You never know. But,
I don't have one.
No, if you weren't doing what you're doing, what do you think you would be doing? Did that make sense?
Man, I love construction. I love building stuff. I would try to find something to do in that world. I did this whole house. We did.
You know, dude, I mean, looking at where you are and just, I'm loving the house, you know,
Yeah.
with the wood. And I'm going, and when you just mentioned that, I was just thinking, I wonder if he did that. So
Yeah, we did all this, floors,
cool.
walls,
Nice.
ceiling. You can see it right through there. I built them shelves.
Very
exposed
nice.
floor. Yeah.
Is that like the what they would call the man cave?
No, this is the dining room.
Oh, okay.
That is such a talent to have,
Yeah.
to be able to do that. It's just, oh, that is gorgeous.
Oh, I love the table. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can I put an order in?
Well, we know who to hire if anything ever happens.
Wow. I
Absolutely.
like it.
Did you make the dining room table too?
No, that table,
No.
we call that Jesus's table because we think
Yep.
it's that old.
Oh, wow. But that's beautiful.
We found it at a thrift store.
No
Uh-huh.
way.
So yeah,
That's
got
cool. That's really cool. And wow, so you would be working in woodworking. So
Yes,
that's
I
kind of
love
cool.
it.
That's
I
cool.
love it.
You got all your fingers. So
Still, yeah.
good to go. Good to go. Absolutely. This is amazing. What it's tell us a little bit about your tattoos. What do you got on the you got a whole sleeve almost.
Yeah.
I want something. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, it started out with this piece right here. This is basically the sheet music to Family Man, but in the shape
Yep.
of a thumbprint.
Oh, wow. Okay. I knew there had to be some sort of meaning there, and obviously there is.
That was there for a long time, and then I wanted this. I love this flag. I had the American flag put on, and then it just after I did the flag, I said, "Oh my gosh, it's completely unfinished." So then I had the piano put on here.
God, I love it.
And then there's the rose right here, which is my daughter's middle name, and then we have their birthdays written in Roman in their handwriting. And then this is a mossy oak tree.
Oh, wow.
With the moon. But as you know, I wanted something that represented where I was from, growing up in South Georgia. So the mossy oak is indigenous to the South. So
Yep. Absolutely.
that's the short stories.
I love it. I love it. I don't know. How many tattoos do you have, Deb?
Me, 0.
No, I know. I've got a cut. You know, I've got the
I'm too
microphone,
wimpy.
and then I've got this one is for my son is Down syndrome, so that's upward and onward with his initials. But I want to start to do something more on the arm now. So, and my wife, she's not a big fan, but love the ink in that bicep. Mindy says
It's a dick. Oh, really?
yes.
Is Mindy watching?
Mindy Campbell. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Is that your significant other?
Yeah, she's in the next room. That's right.
She can always poke her head around the corner and give us a little wave, but that's entirely up to her.
She will.
Mindy, you're awesome. Oh, she said yes. So anyway, Craig Campbell, you're back and you've got a song that is climbing the charts. I know it's just getting started. But let's see. What was the very first song you ever heard on the radio of yours?
It had to have been Family Man. Yeah, Family Man was the first release. So
I see her. Hello, Mrs. Campbell. Hello. Skip Clark, Deb Lamphere.
How are you?
Oh, very well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is it like to be the wife of a country star?
That's a very long. How long is this? That's a loaded question. It's great. No, it's fun. We've made it work for 16 years. So
God bless you. God bless you.
16 years in a row. I think it's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
I saw that as an anniversary. Somebody said happy anniversary to us. We've made it 20 years, and then they put in a row.
That is something these days, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you've got a good man there. We're proud to be playing his music on the radio here. The new song, Nevermind, is just fabulous. It's climbing the chart. We're keeping an eye on it, and hopefully we're going to hear that a whole lot more in the near future. So.
I have a dream. I have a dream of my friends coming to me and telling me that they're tired of hearing my song on the radio. That has never happened, but I'm dreaming that will happen one day. Because I've told my friends that before, like people that have written big hit songs. I'm like, oh my God, if I hear, crash my party one more time. Yeah.
That's a good problem.
Video? Y'all need to see the video. Have you seen the video?
I have seen the video. Yes.
She's the star of that one.
Really?
I have not. I will be sure to watch it right after this
Our
podcast.
debut.
Yes.
All
And
right.
have you two ever, because you're both musicians, that I do know, have you ever thought about doing something together, or have you already?
We wrote I wrote a song to propose to her when we got engaged, and then we finished it and turned it into a duet. We have that, but as far as commercial, like I recorded a song recently that the intention was to make it a full duet with her. She is a little she didn't like the recording of it, so I got to figure out a way to get her to like it. So she'll finish with it.
It's okay. It's good.
It's a great song. I just got to figure out how to
kind of give it a little extra.
But
You'll-
we'd love to do like a gospel album someday, like a family gospel album.
Yep.
Do something like that with our girls. And
That would be. And how old are the girls?
13 and 10.
yeah.
Oh, okay. And what do they think of Dad being a country star and Mom being an artist as well? Or they're kind of used to it?
Yeah, that's all they've ever known. For a long time, actually, they were surprised when they would find out their friend's dad didn't ride a tour bus and sing and all that.
Yeah, I think
They
that's
just thought everybody did that.
their favorite part is riding on the bus and getting to be in the bunks, and
They love
they
it.
think that's the coolest thing in the world.
Oh, I'm sure. And they sleep really well. The
Oh,
bus is moving. It's that motion that just kind of puts you right to sleep.
We love it.
Yeah. That is very cool. So you're heading out this week and you're playing some shows, but you said you don't have any big tours. You're not tied in with anybody as of yet, but I could see you getting back out there. And I think, there's been a little bit of time between your last hit and now this one that's climbing the charts. So, but once this, I think, gets a little bit higher, there's going to be people going, hey, we need to get Craig Campbell on this tour.
Well, that's the plan. We fingers are crossed. We got songs moving in the right direction, which is this way. Is better than going the other way. But yeah, that's the plan, to get some momentum out of this song and some buzz and people talking about it and driving the demand up. That's the name of the game when it comes to touring.
Yeah, I had somebody comment. Mikey said, I met him at Toby Keith's bar. And I know this gentleman's from Syracuse. So were you with Toby, or when he was hitting his, or maybe you played the bar? I guess.
No, yeah, I think back when Toby had all of his bars, I think I played all of them, but it's been several years ago.
Yeah, and it's no longer here in town. It kind of closed up. So
most of them, I think all of them did.
I think they did. Yeah,
the one in Vegas.
Absolutely. And what about an album, Craig?
Yeah, I mean that's we have plans to release a double album this fall. I've got a bunch of songs that I've written and recorded over the past few years that the record labels either just didn't like them or didn't want me to release them or whatever. So I've been sitting on just a pile of songs that I love. So I've just thought, man, there's no reason to hold on to these things. Let's let them out, let them fly, see what happens.
So do you still have a business manager and a person that does your bookings and a publicity person? You don't do all that yourself, right? Because I can't imagine you'd have time.
No, we don't. I still have all those pieces. Crazy enough, my publicist and me share the same name. So
No way.
that's super confusing to a lot of people. I've had people say, man, I thought you were doing your own publicity. But then they were like, he's actually doing a really good job. I said, no, if I was going to do my own publicity, the first thing I would do is change my name. But yeah, I have all those pieces and the people are still on my team. And
that's good.
But it goes back to what we were talking about, being in control and being CEO of my business. I put this team together. It's my team. It's nobody else's team.
That's the way it should be.
Yes.
You got full control.
Yes.
Deb is the businesswoman here. I am just a radio guy, but she's got business in Nashville. She's got business here in the Northeast, and she runs those businesses. So that's why she'll be asking the business questions. I'm the guy going, so I love your song. And it's getting played on the Wolf.
You're also our tech guru for the most
okay,
part,
maybe
the geeky guy.
That's me. But Craig, do you have a favorite venue that you like to play at? Or is there one that sticks out?
Man, they're all look, and I tell people it's always a tough question to answer just because of there are so many great ones out there. But it comes down to who's coming to the show and who's ready to have a good time. I can play right here in my kitchen or my dining room in front of 10 people. And if they're fired up about it, that gets me fired up. I can do the same thing. I could go and play in front of 50,000 people at Country Jam.
Right.
And those people could care less because it's such a big thing and it's so disconnected. There's, so to answer your question, as long as the people that are there are ready to listen and have a great time and that love country music, the Ryman, I love playing there. The Opry.
How often do you get to play the Opry?
Before the pandemic, I was on a roll. I was up to about 70 times, over the last 10 years. I'm playing August 6th. Be the first time I've played the Opry since the pandemic. So I'm excited about that. But I've been very fortunate to be able to play it as often as I have.
And do you get that feeling when you step into the circle that everybody?
It is. It's neat. It's neat how that feels. Just because if you really think about who all has stood in that same exact spot, because that circle doesn't move. So everybody has stood right in that same exact spot, same everything. So
it's amazing. That just totally blows me away every time when we see it. We've been to CRS, we've been to the Ryman, it's just like, wow, this is so freaking cool. And to be an artist and be in your shoes and know that all these other big artists or those that were there before you have stepped into that circle. And now you're doing it just crazy. Bob and Kay Cook says Opry ? August 6th. Yay. So look forward to that.
I have an Opry question.
Yes.
Have you, at any point when you were at the Opry, had you run into anybody backstage where you were starstruck? Somebody that you may have wanted to always meet?
At the Opry?
Yeah.
Little Jimmy was a trip.
Little Jimmy Dickens. Oh my God.
In real life person,
Because it's hard to believe that when you're basically a star yourself and then you see someone that's a star in your eyes.
I remember it wasn't at the Opry, but I remember the first time I saw Merle Haggard in person.
Oh wow.
He was getting out of a car and getting onto the bus that was parked in the alleyway between the Ryman and some of those lower Broadway bars, and I just happened to be walking by at the perfect time, and he steps out, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Merle Haggard. And then one time we were at a CMA after party at Warner Brothers, and I was in the same room with Randy Travis, and that was a big deal to me too. So
that is.
Randy, wow, definitely good stuff.
He's the one that got us into country music. But go ahead.
I was going to ask what kind of pivoting here a little bit. What's the biggest, the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
I think I got caught shoplifting one time.
Okay. I think that's something we've all done growing up.
I got caught shoplifting in my hometown, and they and it was something stupid, just something. I just opened it up, stuck it in my pocket, and kept walking. And I was a kid.
Oh yeah, been there.
And I remember I was super embarrassed because they took me to the back of the store and then walked me out of from the back all the way through the front in handcuffs. So, and I grew up in a very small town, so
Everybody knew you.
There's a lot of people that knew who I was. So that was super embarrassing.
Did you see that? They just took Craig out of the store. He's in handcuffs. No, I know. I think, that's a part of growing up. Seriously. I think we've all done something stupid like that. Yeah. Only takes once. And then I get home. I remember I did it. My father kicked my butt, if you know what I mean. And it hurt. So never again. I learned my lesson. It was crazy. It's just crazy stuff. I mean, just to prove that you're human. I mean, we all go through those things. Just really, really crazy. Is there, Craig, before we're going to run out of time here pretty quick, but if you could talk, I know you've been doing this for quite a while. I get it. You're not a new artist. You're a well-established artist. You are, in my mind, being in radio, I've known you for a while, known your name for a while, never really had a great conversation like we're having tonight, but it's all because you're there and we're here. But is there somebody that if you could sit down, dead or alive, and pick their brain and just have a conversation with, male, female, anybody, just kind of go, dude, and just have that conversation? Is there somebody?
In the music business?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. If you could just pick their brain about anything, somebody you would talk to if you could.
Musically, it would be
so many.
If you could, if there was a chance to get somebody to speak candidly, I would love to hear. I'd love to sit in the room with Waylon Jennings.
Ooh, definitely good stuff.
And talk candid. Tell me about being on the road. With all those people. Out of the music business, probably my dad.
Yeah,
I never got to know him, so I'd like to have a beer with him.
Yeah, you never got to know your dad?
I was 11 when he passed away.
Oh, dude, wow. My father was my best friend, so I know that whole relationship type of thing, and especially in your case, just to, I've lost my dad, but your case is even, not really getting to know your dad. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's great. What is the best advice you've ever been given?
Luke, like I mentioned earlier about telling me to write songs, I hadn't messed around with writing songs. I didn't think I was any good at it. So I just didn't even worry about any of that stuff. But when he said, you need to be writing songs, you need to write every day. You need to write with different people. You need to do this. It sunk in. I remember calling my mama one time because I was homesick.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, I'm coming home. I can't. I want to come back home. And she said, baby, you need to stay right where you are. There's nothing here for you except family. She said, you can do any job anywhere. She said, but if music is what you want to do, you need to stay right where you are. And so I guess advice in that situation was more or less her just telling me to stay put.
It's like mama bird pushing baby bird out of the nest, and we know you can fly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see Louis just chimed in, Deb. Louis is Deb's son. It says, what's your creative process like? We asked a question. So, Louis, when we're done, you can watch this back a little bit and you can hear it. It was just a few minutes ago. But Louis a busy guy. So that's why. But he's also he's checking on his mom.
He's checking to make sure I got all my tech right. So,
so I'm trying to think here. We have a venue called Kegs Canal Side, and somebody said they need to bring it back to Kegs. I'm trying to think. You're in so many different places, so I'm sure it's just outside of Syracuse. So I don't know if you're on that stage or not at Kegs. It's kind of
I have before. I got a great shot. I remember taking this photo that showed I was I'm kind of not necessarily like fully endorsed, but I Wrangler sends me stuff to wear, and I had a great shot of my ass with the Wrangler with the Wrangler patch on it. And so I sent that photo to Wrangler. I don't know if they used it or not, but that was a fun show. That's where I first met the Hoots.
Oh, the Hoots, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I do remember that show now. They were crazy.
They now live here. So
okay.
We run into each other a lot.
Yeah, and somebody says I got my picture taken with him. So apparently somebody's Carrie. So
were my eyes open?
I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Carrie, was his eyes open? That's what we need to know. She'll chime in. This has been a great conversation, Craig. We wish you so much luck and well. And you're very much a star already. You're doing your own thing, which I give you a lot of credit for that. And she said, hi, Skip. Oh, we want to know if his eyes were open. But yes, they were. She's looking.
Good.
But everything that you're doing, I mean, you're right there again, and it's not like you ever left. I mean, it's Craig Campbell. This is cool, and we wish you so much luck. And I don't know, I'm going through my questions through my mind here. I don't know if I have much. You've been so good answering everything tonight and finding out a lot about you. And one of the I think Deb would agree. One of the things we do with Skip Happens with my podcast here is to prove to people that are watching, people that are listening, people that love country music, that somebody in your shoes at where you are at your level, I mean, you're still a real person. You still, you got a family, you still go to the grocery store, you still do all the same stuff just like you and I do. So that's the other thing I like to prove with the podcast is, hey, these guys are cool. Go out and get their music. Enjoy.
Yeah, who else? Like we podcast, we're barefooted when we do our podcast.
Dude.
There we go.
So, Deb, I'm not going to ask you to do that.
Oh gosh, no, you don't want me to do that.
No. But you're right. I mean, yeah, seriously. They only see you from like your chest up. So anyways, Craig Campbell, you've been awesome. So we can look forward to the album coming out this fall. You said it's a double album.
Double album. So the first half will be out this fall, I hope.
Okay. And if we go to the website, what are we going to find on your website, craigcampbell.tv?
You'll see the links to all of the current stuff, links to my social medias, links to merchandise, tour schedule, all that stuff.
It's awesome.
Well, hopefully Syracuse will be on the schedule sometime over the next year.
I was just up there a couple weeks ago, not in Syracuse, but close.
Where?
Dodgeville.
Oh, Dodgeville. Yes.
I did a private show up there with a buddy, cool. And I had not met him till that day. Tom Nitty.
Oh yes, I've heard the name.
Such a great dude, great singer. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, we hope to get you back here. I know we were talking about Kegs, that venue, a few minutes ago. I know the promoter really well, and they're always they're always looking to get artists up on that stage. So, and I know that you've got a lot of fans here in the Northeast, especially in the Syracuse area. So
let's make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Together we can make it happen.
That's
but
right.
We do want to thank you for taking the time to hang with us tonight. I know your wife peeked around the corner. Thank you, Mindy. And make sure you take care of this guy. Sounds like she does.
She does.
And make sure you follow Skip Happens on YouTube. And, of course, we got the Skip Happens podcast on Facebook. And, Deb, your information is?
The official Country Music Fan Club, or the official CMFC. And we're on Instagram. So if you get a chance, follow us. We'll follow you back. We'll always promote your new music on Fridays. So we'll be looking forward to doing that for you down the road.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And are you playing out anywhere in Nashville that in the near future, just right in town?
Yeah. July 27th, playing a show at the Nashville Palace. And then August the 6th, we mentioned earlier about playing the Opry.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Nashville Palace.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite place to eat in Nashville?
Man, Nashville's becoming such a great town for food. I love Bricktops. Bricktops is just a great all around. The entire menu is great. Cane Prime is a great place to go get a steak. Wild Ginger in Cool Springs is one of my favorite sushi joints. I mean, it's just it's hard to choose because Nashville has so many great locations to eat.
When you go into these venues, do they know who you are? Say, oh my goodness, that's Craig
No,
Campbell.
sometimes. I mean, so the occasional, like, oh, Craig Campbell, like the singer, you know.
The guy on the radio?
Yeah, that happens, but not very often.
Yeah.
Craig Campbell, the publicist.
Yeah.
Craig, you're awesome, my friend. Thank you for doing this for us tonight. It was great to chat with you. We heard a lot about the new single, Never Mind, M-I-N-E. Never mind. It's I know it's getting played on the radio more and more every day, depending on where you are. And if you're watching this from not the Syracuse area, make sure you call your local radio station and say, hey, you guys need to get on this song. Because Craig Campbell. It's Craig Campbell. So,
do it.
Yeah. Craig, we're going to sign off. Thank you again for coming on with us here tonight. If you could hang on for just a minute, and we'll chat after the cameras are off. So
you got it.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It Skip Happens. Make sure you give us a like on YouTube, and you can watch all the different videos we have. Martina and Pam Tillis, and I can go on and on, all the big stars. So, and a lot of the newbies, and a lot of the big stars like Craig Campbell. So I hate to say
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Craig.
Good night.
You're
Thanks,
pretty
Craig.
awesome.